Sorry. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Athlete Mentors Signing Day. We're so excited you're here, and we can't wait to celebrate this big moment with you guys.
That's right, everyone. Today's the day we reveal the incredible pairings between athlete mentors and classrooms across the US and Canada. Teachers, students, athletes, this is your time.
So before we dive in, we're just going to introduce ourselves. My name is Antoinette Tansley, but normally people call me Annie. And I am a retired athlete in the sport of skier cross, which is an alpine skiing discipline where four people go at the same time. There's big jumps and you race to the bottom. And I raced with the Canadian team for 7 years, and I just retired. So this is going to be my first year, not with the Classroom Champions classroom, but I'm so excited to be here and help kick off the season, helping you guys find out who your mentors are.
And my name is Braven Park. I'm 22 years old, and I'm on a Canadian national team member in the sport of Taekwondo. I've been doing the sport of Taekwondo ever since I was born, pretty much. My family owns and runs a Taekwondo school here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, which is where I'm from, my hometown, and where I train out of to this day. I'm one of 16 black belts in my family. I know that's kind of a lot. Um, my brother and sister compete alongside me, and they're also national team members, as well as our father, who is our coach and the national Olympic team coach for Canada.
Yeah. Braven comes from a pretty sweet, long family history of sport. And it's really awesome to be able to kind of be here with you, as a winter athlete, and then have you be a summer athlete. I know going into this year, we're pretty excited for the Olympics coming up in the winter. And I know the Summer Olympics were probably a highlight for your guys' family last year or 2 years ago. Okay, well, let's get into it. For classrooms tuning in, today is the day that world-class athlete mentors will be assigned to a classroom, like we were saying, and they'll be with that classroom for the full year, which is what's really special about Classroom Champions. A lot of times, people have an Olympian come and visit their school or a national team athlete visit their school, and they see them for an hour and that's it. But what's really awesome is you guys are going to meet you're going to find out who your athlete mentor is today, and you're going to have them for the whole school year. They're going to be on your journey. They're going to share monthly updates. They're going to check in with your class from all over the world sometimes. And that's what's really, really special about Classroom Champions. Classroom Champions empowers children to thrive academically, socially, and emotionally through this mentorship and building a mindset from world-class athletes to improve our, student engagement, help them build kind of growth-oriented mindsets where they learn to set goals and inspire a positive classroom culture. So, Braven, we're going to start out with just a couple of questions for you, and I'm super curious. I think you've talked about your sport a little bit. How long have you been an athlete mentor with Classroom Champions, and what keeps you coming back?
Yes, so this is my third year being a Classroom Champions athlete mentor. I first joined back in 2023 alongside my brother and my sister, who are also Classroom Champions athlete mentors. The thing that keeps bringing me back to Classroom Champions is the opportunity to be a mentor for the up and coming generation. I think it's super important, especially at a younger age, to have people, not just one person, but a group of people that you can look up to, that are there to help guide you, share their life experiences with you, and kind of support you in whatever way they can. And now knowing that the roles are reversed, and hopefully I can be that person for some of you Classroom Champions, is the main reason why I love this program so much. And I'm super grateful to be in the position I'm in.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes. Is there a story from your training or competitions that taught you something about teamwork or a little bit about resilience?
Thank you. Teamwork is one of our units with Classroom Champions, and it's one of my favorites because even though I was in an individual sport, you're skiing out there, it's just you. There's kind of no real team aspect, like if you're in hockey or rugby or something like that. But I was really, really lucky to be on a team, like on the national team, with such a really cool generation of athletes. For those of you that don't know, Canada really dominates ski cross from when it started in the Olympics in 2010. We had a women's gold medal, the next Olympics, gold and silver, and then gold and silver again with the men's gold. So, and then another silver. So it's been really cool to be an athlete on such a powerful team. And I think what was the most special thing is that even when you were having a tough time at training, you could, you know, cheer on your teammates, and that would actually bring up your like overall morale and spirit. And if we're looking at a course together and I have no idea how to ski something, to be able to talk to people with so much experience and have them openly share that, even though, when it comes down to it, you're competing against that person,
Yeah.
they're still willing to share that information with you. And that like competitiveness that we had amongst ourselves, but then also willingness to help learn and work towards, everybody being faster, allowed us to just keep dominating kind of. And yeah, I love bringing that into a classroom, because at the end of the day, like, yeah, when you're writing a test, you're the only person writing that test, or, maybe you have a group project, but a lot of the time in school, it's an individual activity. And I think we can all kind of work together to help each other learn. And, when you see someone struggling with something that you understand really well, to be able to help them with that, or the other way around, I think is really cool. And I think as far as how that kind of built into our resilience, I mean, it meant that no matter what, even though at the end of the day, if you had a terrible race, you weren't alone, because your teammates would support you. And when you had an awesome race, and even if they had a bad day, they would still come out and support you. And I think that really like built the culture that we have. So I don't
Sure.
know. How do you, Raven, feel like you deal with change and adversity? Kind of sort of a parallel to resilience, I guess.
No, I love that question. I think dealing with change and adversity is something that personally I find hard to deal with, and I'm sure that a lot of others can also agree with me on that. Um, so this year, actually, I changed weight divisions in my sport, so I'm kind of going through a change right now in my own way. So I moved up a weight category, so everybody's a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, a little bit taller than I am. So I actually had a fight last week in Peru, and that was my first time in this new division. So I didn't really know what to expect. I kind of went in there with no expectations really of performance and where I wanted to end, like my end result. I just went in there with a good mindset, going in there trying to prepare as best as I can, with an open mind, with a good frame of mind with myself, my coach, my team, my siblings as my teammates. And the result turned out to be really well. I ended up coming up a little bit short of the podium, ended up in the quarterfinals, but super proud of my performance and how I did. And yeah, and I'm sure for all of you guys in school right now, starting off the new school year, you're all going through some sort of change right now, because you're all going into a new grade, new classes, maybe classes with new friends, new teachers. Some of you might even be in new schools. So you're all going through some sort of change right now, and that's okay. You have to realize that change and go into your new classes with a good mindset, willing to learn, willing to meet new friends, willing to have a good year of school, and just going in there and doing the best you can no matter what.
Well, thank you, Braven. I think that kind of brings us to the fact that we're all looking forward to this new school year, and no one's going to have to do it alone, because you're all going to have a mentor for your class. And like we were talking about earlier, it's a really exciting year for those of you paired with winter athletes, because you're going to be able to be a part of their journey. And I know that, having spoken with lots of winter athletes that are kind of pushing towards going to the Olympics, especially those that are kind of working on their second or third Olympic attempts, that it's really cool for them also to have you guys and to know that they're also not alone on their journey. So yeah, what do you think, Braven? Should we get started?
Yes, let's get this celebration started. Who's ready for the big reveal? The moment you've all been waiting for is here. We're about to roll our official 2025-2026 Athlete Mentor Matching video.
All right, keep your eyes peeled for your school. And teachers, please feel free to cheer in the chat when you see your classroom pop up. Get your kids really pumped, and let's kick it off.
Wow, wow, wow. That was an amazing video. That was awesome. Congratulations to all the new pairings. This is just the start of an incredible journey together.
Yeah, let's talk about how we can make the most of your mentorship this year. Some of my favorite tips personally are always making sure you visit your community space to see posts from your athlete mentor. Um, that's one of the biggest things is we would, if your mentor posts and you can visit your space and see it right away, then you get to stay up to date in their life and in their journey. And then if you're posting too, then they can visit that space and they can stay up to date on what's happening in your classroom. Watch those videos with your class. They're made just for you guys. They're not, something that's posted anywhere else. They're filmed just for your classroom. Share any of your pictures and stories. What are you guys working on in school? What are you guys working on in your classroom champions? Units with your mentor, and join the mentorship live chats. They happen twice a year, and they are the best way to connect in real time.
Yes, and if you're curious to learn more about your athlete mentors, don't forget that you also can go right now, watch their Welcome to Our Journey video to learn a little bit more about your mentor and a little bit more about their sports. Be sure to check out their athlete profiles in your dashboard. And I encourage you all to explore their sport together as a class. Maybe search up what their sport is, maybe a little bit about your athlete mentors. It's a great way to build a deeper connection with your athlete mentors and kind of learn a little bit more about each other.
Yeah, I think that's such a good point because what's really cool about Classroom Champions is we have such a diversity of sports. I'm sure you guys saw during that video, just how many different sports we have and some pretty cool sports that you don't always get to watch on TV. So learn about your athlete's sport. Usually in their welcome videos, they give a little breakdown on kind of what their sport is, but it can be a really fun experience for your class also to just find out more about sport and what's out there. So, Braven, my question for you is what are you most excited for with your classrooms this year?
The thing that I'm most excited for this year, beside the live chats, that's always my favorite thing, but it's to see how the students and how all the classroom champions kind of progress throughout the year, how they are working through all of the classroom champions units and how they kind of progress from maybe starting off a little bit shy at the beginning of the year with their new classmates, new classes, maybe with the interaction with the athlete mentors and kind of how that grows and how we get more comfortable with each other and kind of see that growth and progression through the students as the year goes on. That's kind of my favorite part and the thing I look forward to the most.
Sweet. Yeah. Live
Yes.
chats can be really special.
Yes. Annie, how do you have a favorite post or story you've seen from a classroom in the community?
Yeah, I think, live chats are like one of my favorite things. I think what's been really cool is just seeing how different teachers use the community throughout the years, and how they post. One of my favorites was I had sent in a video to my community about, a goal that I had and I was working towards, and then they sent back individual goals from every student in their classroom, um, talking about a goal that they were setting for the school year. And it was just so cool to watch the kids. They'd all kind of drawn a picture that was a mountain of how they were getting to that goal. And that was just really special because I also learned all of the kids' names through that because they all introduced themselves. And so then when we went to live chats and they came to the front of the class to ask a question, I actually had already seen their faces and already knew what their goals were. So that was just really special to be able to make that connection just so much deeper, I guess.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right. Well, I think at this point, if you could give a classroom one tip for connecting with their athlete mentor, what would it be, Braven?
The one tip that I would give to all of the classrooms to connect a little bit better with the athlete mentors is don't be shy. Don't be hesitant to ask questions or share what you guys are doing. We want to hear all your questions, no matter what they are, whether it's about our sports, whether it's about what I ate for dinner last night, whether it's about my favorite color. We love hearing all of it. But yeah, don't be shy to ask if you have any questions, and especially don't be shy to share all your progression, all of your hard work, all of your goals and achievements with us through Circle and that dashboard, because we love to see it all, and that way we get to know all of you a little bit better, and then that way we can share a little bit more about ourselves as well, and it kind of makes it a little bit more personal for all of us.
Yeah, and I think that's just so important, building that relationship early on. Braven, what do we have coming this fall?
Yes, and speaking of live chats, starting today, you guys can actually book your fall mentorship live chats with your athlete mentors. That's your chance to meet your athlete mentor virtually, face to face, and ask them the questions in real time.
Yeah, as we wrap up signing day, I want to thank all of the teachers, students, and athletes who make this journey possible. We can't wait to see the growth and the connection and the inspiration that will happen this year from both sides. And I'm just so excited.
Yes, of course. Thank you to all the teachers and students. And before you all log off, make sure to stop by the community and post a message to your athlete mentor. Say hi, share your excitement with them, or tell them something about your class. It's the perfect way to kick things off and get to know each other a little bit more.
Yeah. Thank you for joining Athlete Mentor Signing Day. Like we said, we cannot emphasize enough how important it is to those athletes to hear from you guys so that, they're just as excited as you guys are to be paired up this year. And they don't always have a welcome video from your class. They don't know anything about you guys. So share that with them and get them excited for the year. So here's to an amazing year, and let's make it one to remember.
Yes, let's start this year off great.
Thanks, guys.